Breeding a mare to a stallion involves science. Gone are the days of only relying on a mare's obvious behavioural signs that she's coming into estrus and ready to visit the stallion. These days, a mare's follicles are tracked using ultrasound to determine the optimal day for cover or even the time of day, whether morning or afternoon. You may be wondering, is this all necessary? Wellington-based equine veterinarian George Schabort explains.
We try and get these mares ready to go to the stallion. At the end of the day, stallions being very busy, small numbers of stallions, lots and lots of mares. So we can't have these stallions cover the mares 2-3 times per mare. So we've got to try and get the mare in there, one cover and get out in foal without stressing the stallions. So it's basically for the stallion usage that we need to be involved.
It's another day of rain in the Western Cape. The province has been experiencing severe weather, particularly on the Cape Town side of the mountain. Breeders on stud farms in Stellenbosch, Paarl and Wellington have been battling conditions, but with breeding season just 4 months, from September to December, time is of the essence. Work continues despite the conditions, testing the resolve of all. The weather is further challenging breeders as the warmer and longer days of spring and summer are what brings a mare into estrus and ready to visit the stallion. It's nature's way. When the sun has made its appearance, it's been to the delight of these younger mares. But back to George and follicle tracking.
If we do follicle tracking and get the mares there on the right time, they'll normally be in foal, well within 14 days.
And if follicle tracking has been successful, it's a win-win situation for both the stallion, as he doesn't need to cover a second time, and for the owners of the mare to have her confirmed in foal. Having said, gone are the days of only relying on a mare's behavioural signs of her readiness to visit the stallion. The practice is still carried out on stud farms today, but teasing mares is only the initial step before follicle tracking, which is more accurate. George explains the process in more detail.
On the stud farm, what we normally would do is tease the mares, and then the manager or the stud staff will bring them into us. So we will have a look at the ovaries, and in the ovary we'll find a follicle, get the size of the follicle, and we normally would want to get a mare to a follicle size of between 3.5 and 4.5, depending on that mare.
Follicles are measured in centimetres.
En dan sê nog 'n 3.3 en soos 'n 4.5. Most mares should follow a pattern, and the patterns that the uterus make when the hormones start rising and before they start ovulating.
Imminent ovulation indicates the time for a mare's visit to the stallion.
Ovulation is then the time of releasing that egg cell, and once we get that release, we want the semen to be there actively. So that's pretty much the scenario, and we'll get a positive conception in that rate.
So what if the scan shows a mare to have more than one positive conception?
The mare can't carry multiple babies, so that's why we try and be involved by 14 to 16 days to reduce a multiple pregnancy.
The South African breeding industry has close on 2,000 mares which are bred in the 4 months between September and December every year. It's a busy time on stud farms getting these mares to the stallions at the right time. Follicle tracking has helped streamline the process to make it more efficient and less stressful for all.